You have the tools within you to manipulate how you're feeling wherever you are. For me, that's one of the craziest things of feeling like you're on drugs, literally just through breathing. Now, the truth is, I know very little about this whole world of breathwork. And I also don't want to take away from the importance of the other things that are going on in the world right now. But after receiving a couple of recommendations from you guys to try it out, and in the hopes that I can inspire a few of you, I finally said, let's do this. So this is my experience after doing breathwork every day for the past 30 days. So rewind quickly to day one. As I lay down my makeshift mat to begin this journey, I suddenly asked myself, wait, how the hell do I do breathwork? So for those of you who don't know, breathwork involves various breathing practices in which the conscious control of your breathing is said to influence a person's mental, emotional, or physical state. In short, breathwork involves manipulating your breath to change how you're feeling. Okay, but are there any real benefits to doing this? Well, from the research I've done, controlled breathing is said to help boost alertness, reduce stress in the body, and can also help improve our immune system. Now, I'm open-minded, but I also don't believe everything I hear straight away. So I guess it's time to try this out for myself. Subscribe. Back to day one, I began this journey doing the Wim Hof's guided breathing. I started following his tutorials on YouTube every morning before I got out of bed. Wim Hof, in case you don't know, is a Dutch extreme athlete and one of the most notable pioneers of breathwork. He has set Guinness World Records and he attributes all of his success to the Wim Hof Method. So basically, the Wim Hof Method is a breathing technique consisting of 30 really deep breaths in, followed by faster, shorter breaths out. And then on the last repetition, you breathe all the way out and then you hold it for 1 to 1.5 minutes. And that makes up round one. Sounds complicated, but it's easy enough if you're following his tutorial. And all of those 3 rounds takes approximately 10 minutes. Now, I read it only takes 1 minute for this hyperventilating sort of breathing to produce a high feeling. So I was pretty anxious to see what 10 minutes of this stuff could do to me. And so I began.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
While I was lying there listening to Wim Hof's voice, the skeptic in my head began thinking, what is this even supposed to be doing to me? I'm just breathing. But then as I held my breath, it suddenly hit me. Well, to be honest, I wasn't quite sure if it was it because I've never done this before, but I definitely felt something. My fingers started tingling. I felt this really warm sensation inside. My head started getting a little flushed. I got the feeling that I could feel everything that my body touched. Like all my senses were like maxed out. So lying there after my first session, I felt super calm and peaceful. And I remember just like being super content with just kind of chilling out for a bit and felt like I didn't have any stresses in those few minutes. Now, I can't say that I felt like jumping into ice cold water, but hey, it's only day one, so let's see what happens. The biggest question that came to my mind as soon as I finished was, what just happened to me? Why was I feeling like that? So I did a bit of research. So basically what's happening is when you do any form of breath work, the faster and deeper breaths begin to decrease the amount of CO2 in your system. And as your body compensates for that, it makes your blood more alkaline, and in turn increases your nerve and muscle action, which explains the tingling and shaking sensations that I was feeling. It's only very temporary and is usually gone within 1 to 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. That is so weird. I can't explain that. My hands and my feet and actually my whole body is like tingling. It feels really light. It feels like I'm almost like I was lifting off the bed. I feel good. I feel peaceful. I can't wait to do this for another 28 days. I mean, if that's just day 2 and I'm already feeling like that, I can't even begin to imagine what day 30 will feel like. There you go. 11 minutes of Wim Hof's breathing tutorial. I'm feeling all tingly and woo! Oh my god, I just stood up. Oh my god. I feel so dizzy. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea. I mean, all I can say is I'm spaced out right now. I need some water. I've never felt like that ever before in my life. That was such an interesting experience. The only thing is I feel like I need 5 minutes to just come back to like normal living state. That's really weird because when I finished, I was like, yeah, I've got energy. But then as soon as I got up, my body was just like, sit down, Laurie. No wonder they say don't do this when you're driving. Over the next few days, as I continued this Wim Hof's form of breathwork, I actually missed a couple of sessions. I think it's because it didn't excite me as much and therefore that it was subconsciously less of a priority for me. It felt a little bit like doing a chore, not because it was necessarily time consuming, more because it put me in this like weird headspace where I just felt spaced out and a little disorientated, and it would take me a good few minutes to kind of get back into active mode. So 7 days in, after missing about half of the days, I decided to restart this breathwork challenge. But this time I decided to stop doing it in the morning, and I would do it at any point throughout the day that I felt like I needed to relax and meditate. And this is when I started to really enjoy breathwork. It would make me super chill, almost like I was high, and I would just lie there on the floor or in my bed and enjoying the sensations that it made me feel. Halfway through my 30 days of breathwork, and I'm starting to really enjoy these sessions. To begin with, it felt almost like a bit of a chore, you know, like it was something I had to do and I wasn't that excited about it. But now I'm kind of waking up and looking forward to these sessions. And so I continued to find 10 minutes every day to set aside for this form of breathwork. And it did soon become a sort of meditation for me, clearing my mind of like the stresses of the day and bringing me back to the present. Now, I don't want to sound too wishy-washy with you guys, but it definitely chills me out. Until about day 13 or 14, I kind of got to this point where I felt like I wasn't really getting anything different from breathwork, and it felt like it was the same thing every time. Now, granted, there were some days when I had this high feeling a lot more intensified than other days when kind of, you know, might not have been feeling it as much, but I feel like that was probably a lot to do with just how much energy and focus I'm putting into the session. So I decided I wanted to switch it up for a bit, and I got back on the laptop and did a bit more research. So I began sitting up to do breathwork, and suddenly this completely changed it for me. It was like really intensified the high feeling. Wow, that was really intense. Tingling all throughout my body. It's a weird feeling. It's kind of cool. I don't know exactly why that was, but I can imagine it's because kind of when I was sitting up, I was enabling my body to take like longer, deeper breaths and kind of put a bit more movement into it. I feel like a lot of my day I'm living my mind kind of somewhere else, like in the future or looking back at the past. So it has been really nice to have those kind of meditating sessions to just bring me back into the present of each day. But this kind of lightheaded, high feeling only lasts 1 to 2 minutes after I finish, and then it's like completely gone. It goes away so quickly, eh? 5 minutes max, and then I'm ready to continue my day. I feel somewhat more focused for the next few hours, but for the most part, all of these sensations that I felt disappeared within 5 minutes. Some days I kind of did it out and about when I was watching the surf, after I finished the gym, when I was, I don't know, at friends' houses, and it was weird, like doing it in public, because it's a weird thing, like you look like a monkey. It looks bizarre, but I kind of just had to kind of overcome that in my head, that weirdness feeling about it, and stick to the challenge. Alright, so here we are on day 30 of my breathwork challenge. From day 1, starting out, knowing literally nothing about this world of breathwork. 30 days later, I'm still a novice, I'm sure, but in many ways, it's been a pretty interesting topic to learn about. The reason breathwork is considered beneficial in building long-term tolerance is because when you exhale at the end of each round and hold it, it forces your body to try to adapt to lower oxygen levels. So when you are out in extreme conditions, your body is already used to dealing with it and can do so more efficiently. Okay, so that might be some of the science behind breathwork, but what was my experience of it? Looking back, I would say my experience of it hasn't changed a whole lot from when I started. I mean, even this last session on day 30, the sensations and the feelings that I felt were pretty much the exact same as the ones I felt on day 1. It's difficult actually to explain exactly what the feeling is like. For me, it's like it makes me feel, yeah, really aware of everything in a way that I don't feel like I'm aware of before I do it. I think the best way to experience it is just to go out there and give it a try. Take 10 minutes, follow Wim Hof's guided breathing session or any of the other ones online, there's so many out there, and just try and like commit to it, try and really be with it, because I feel like the times that I haven't felt it so intense is when I've been like distracted by something and there's somebody else around me. Good to kind of have your own personal space and just, yeah, really get into it. And afterwards I feel super peaceful, super relaxed, wanting to just chill out for a bit. And that's the most enjoyable aspect for me of doing breathwork, is afterwards super content with like doing nothing. For me, that's so nice. It blows my mind still that I guess we have like this power within us to kind of manipulate how we're feeling so easily. Just like switching our consciousness to just control our breath. We can get drug-like feeling just from breathing in, breathing out. It looks super strange doing it. It looks weird, but my experience of it is it's powerful. Yeah, it feels good. And now knowing how to do breath work, at least I think I know how to do it, I am definitely going to continue to do it throughout the rest of my life actually, whenever I feel the need to relax, to bring back some focus for myself, or just kind of to meditate for a bit. Alright, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you got some sort of like understanding of this whole world of breathwork. Yeah, this has just been my experience of doing it for the past 30 days, and I've got an exciting fitness 30-day challenge that I've just completed, which I'll be posting next week, so stay tuned for that. Until then, adios.